all is soul. Not bought and sold. Not bought and sold. We're not sellers. When we buy is two. We die is two. Tie? Someone just said that through me too. I'm sorry. Tie too. Oh yes, a knot. Thank you. A knot. Imagine a hose. You can tie a knot. And now the water that is in both sides is blocked. But you are the hose and you are the water. For we can't make anything. You are the matter that is the water in the hose, but you are also we cannot make the hose out of anything but matter as well. You see, everybody matters. All matters. And nobody matters more. And you're not going to justify that you matter more. All matter. All water. Fire. Fire is a symbol of the Spirit. The Spirit of God is like a fire burning. Yet all is water as well. Some people say the Star of David, the Seal of Solomon, is a pyramid. But we are not Egyptians. We don't quite do it that way. One is up, one is down. Which one's the water, the matter, and which is the Spirit? Spirit and matter are one. Yet they are two. I am in the Father, and the Father's in me. They are one. The Word was with God and is God. They are two, but they look to each other and say, you are one, I am one. Now here is something. Multiply and replenish the people. Fine. The earth. Multiply and replenish the earth. Sometimes I imagine, I'll go back. We multiply. Here's a multiplication. 1 times itself, for all is one time anyway. 1 folds upon itself. 1 times itself is 2. Nevertheless, that's another one. All are other ones. The one I was still is as well. That's another one. Other one. Brother, mother, other one. But all are the Father, and all are the Son. That's another 1 times 1. That's another. That's another one. Another one, another one, another one. Now you imagine a child speaking to some kind of a master. I won't go into that. That might say, how many do you see? And you say, I see 1 there. I am that I am. I am that I am. How many do you see now? Well, I see 1 and I see 1. They are all L's, like E-L, a line. We are all a divine line. By the way, the master of the vineyard grows his wine on the vine. His is not a vineyard of raisins. We are not trying to grow a more divine above the vine, for all is of the vine. And there are no dried up raisins on top of a mountain. We don't try to be so sun-made. We already are. So please don't try to become so divine that now you are off the vine. You are shriveled and dry. Do you need a drink of water? Matter. Nevertheless, all is divine. Wine comes from the word divine. In the Mormon Church, we use water. I have no problem with that. Water is matter. All is water. All is fire. But we have nothing to make the fire out of but water. Every daughter knows that, every water. And every daughter is a son. So it's something to think about. Let me talk about John and James. David loved Jonathan. John the Baptist was the son of David, soul of David's cousin. John is a special name. James and John, which on the right, which on the left? Peter is the rock. James and John are there. John is from like Elijah, the spirit of Elijah reborn as John. But the amazing thing is Elijah never died. He was carried off, they said in the story, in a chariot of fire, as if he never died. Yet as John, the spirit of Elijah or Elias, is born, and saying, be born again, be born again, for I am not a head above the rest. Even my head is under the water. Be born again. We are not above the water. We are fish. We breathe. All is air. Water is made of air. We have nothing to make water out of but the heirs. And who are the heirs of the kingdom? Anyways, who lingers? James. He dies. John tarries. Wow. Well, like Elijah, John tarries. There is something about the name John. It's very special and connected with David. James. I want to talk a moment about James. I know that some of you do not believe this, and that is fine. The church has had the Gospel of Thomas for quite a while. In the Nag Hammadi scrolls that have been found recently, they were there too. I read it. I love it as well. The Gospel of Thomas is just like they found in the Nag Hammadi scrolls that were buried in the caves because the early church did not want them there. And they had a copy of it themselves, of course. But I will tell you a secret. It's not really a secret. It's just they don't talk about it. In there, he said, the world is born for James's sake. And James must die. And John says, be born again. Do you see something there about being born again and dying? Jesus said, the world, and James is just, the world came into being for James's sake. He also said, break a stick, you will see me. Lift up a rock, for I am there. I know you find it really hard to believe sometimes that the present, the gift of life, is for everybody. It is omnipresent as well. You are connected with all things. That is called the Spirit. You are not far from it. The Spirit is your constant companion. Oh yes. The Spirit doesn't say to you, I can. A spirit might. Yes, there are many spirits. But the Holy Spirit is always there. Anyways, something to think about. This is not meat. People want to say, I've heard it in the church many times, milk before meat. Jesus said, be like a little child. Children drink milk. I love milk. Milk is a whole food. Did you know that if you just eat meat, you might as well be on the Atkins diet? You're going to go into ketosis. It is a form of, I'm starving. And my body is eating itself because I have no carbohydrates. There's no calcium for my bones. Carbs burn and give us energy. Calcium for the bones. Did you know about the whey? W-A-Y, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Well, there is whey, W-H-E-Y, in dairy. And I'll tell you about the whey. Sometimes people do this with the whey. The way, the truth, and the life. And I see a metaphor there. I used to take whey protein when I worked out. Believe it or not, I used to work out. And the whey was made, whey protein, is the dross that they throw away for many years. Curds and whey. Eat your curds and whey. It is the dross from making the cheese. We just throw that away. It is chock full of protein. They throw away some of the best parts of the milk. And they love the cream. Everyone loves the cream. We can make cheese out of it. The cream floats to the top. Now it is a fat molecule. And all of this is a metaphor. So please listen. Life speaks in metaphors. Fat is like the cream. It floats to